Morning, how you guys doing? I'm gonna start today's video with a little bit of background about my love and affection for the Porsche 911, how it came about, and tell you about the fact that I actually used to not like 911s that much. So to cut a long story short, effectively, around this area of the world you see a lot of 911s. Dog hair in my mouth. You see 911s driving around a lot, like Carrera S's, not necessarily all the really special ones all the time. You do see them around, but they're not sort of cruising around every single day. So I've been seeing all of these 911s and I always thought they were a bit of like an old man's car. I was never a massive fan. I thought they looked boring, I didn't think they sounded that good, and I hadn't really experienced them, and yeah, I just was kind of put off. It was at the time also where the Audi R8 came out, and I was like, who would rather have a 911 than an R8? So that was my original point of view. My grandfather, way before I was born, actually had a 911 when they lived out in California, I think it was, and he actually totaled that car. He was fine, he broke a few ribs, but he totaled that car, and that I think left a mark on my dad. He loved that car so much as a kid that he'd always said that one day he wanted to have a 911. So that was like my dad's sort of life goals, always wanted to have it. And then maybe 3-4 years ago, my dad bought, at the time, like a 15-20-year-old 996 bog standard Carrera, and he completed his dream of having a 911. And I, around the same time, started doing videos more seriously, and I actually started getting rides in 911s and these different things. And I instantly, from my first ride in a Porsche, I remember I was like, oh my god, like this is completely different to what I thought it would be like. The feel, the quality, the noise, the overall just luxurious and expensive ooziness of being in a 911 sort of won me over. When Dad had his, even though it was an old one and sort of a really standard one, I mean I think it cost about 20,000 euros or something, it wasn't anything crazy, still had that Porsche feel. So it's this thing where so many people say, oh yeah, 911 is just boring. I agree with you. They're maybe not the most exciting looking cars out there, bog standard 911s and stuff, but when you're in them and when you're driving them and when you're behind the wheel, they are absolutely incredible. I then was lucky enough to have one for 4 months while I was in LA, and then that was it. I was a 911, I was a Porsche fanatic. This morning, I get a call from a friend of mine, Andrew, you've seen a lot before, asking me if I wanted to go down and see his 911R. So naturally, the 911R being an RS based car with a manual gearbox is probably the ultimate recipe for the ultimate 911. So I was like, you know what, as a 911 lover, I'm gonna go see that car. So we're gonna hop into the Lotus, which hasn't been driven in a little while, as it's a beautiful day, and get driving. So this is the way things go with filming around here. I show up at the Fairmont Hotel, Andrew pops down, and now we're driving to Casino, and I'm in the back of a 911R. There are no seats, but it feels like a phantom in the back of here. So Andrew is driving, I'm in the back here, and before you guys go, oh, you're not wearing a seatbelt, etc., there is no seatbelt law in Monaco, and we're just driving like 5 minutes down the road to Casino Square. So, before there are any comments about that, but I mean, I can't really give you that many first impressions now on how it drives, but the way it feels is unbelievable. I mean, as I was telling you earlier, that 911 feel of ooziness and luxury and just overall quality is there. And by the way, Andrew, the back of these seats are so cool. I'm sure you haven't seen them that much, but the carbon back to these seats is absolutely stunning. So we're just going to drive over to Casino, and then I'll show you a bit more about this car. Random hairpins. Now time to take this bad boy for a drive. Here we go. I'm gonna need to move my seat forward because I'm about 3 feet tall. Okay guys, here we go. 911R. This is a crazy experience. I didn't think I'd be driving one of these anytime soon. Just gonna move my seat back a bit. It's crazy how Porsche managed to do this so that it's based on a 911, which I've driven a lot, but they managed to make all the different models feel so different. So if you're driving a turbo, it's a whole different experience to if you're driving, let's say, a GT3 RS or something. So they use this same base, but then they sort of tickle the details, and it's sort of the perfect expression of how details can change a car. Oh, it's got rev matching as well, hasn't it?
It does.
Very cool. Makes you look like a superstar. Steering is lovely. Is this hydraulic steering?
It's electric steering. A lot of people are a little freaked out about the electronic steering. It's still hydraulic.
Yeah.
But it's got electric assist.
Well, I mean, it feels familiar as soon as you get in, which is the beauty with these 911s. They just feel familiar as soon as you jump in terms of the size of them, the whole sort of feel. And the gearbox is lovely. Real short throw, isn't it?
Well, we gotta shift that bit.
This feels so like tight and put together. And also, I mean, I know it is because in the back of your mind you're like, holy shit, this is a 911R. But it does feel very special.
Steering, again, it's not that some people freak out, they think it's steer by wire.
Yeah.
It's not, it's just an electric assist.
It's just
on
electric
a regular
assist
thing, not a hydraulic.
Yeah.
It's not hydraulic, it's just a regular rack and pinion.
I love the steering wheel, like no bullshit, just drive. That's so nice. And the whole, everything just feels like, yeah, it just feels really nice. It feels so 911, it's like the ultimate 911 feeling car. Engine round the back, manual gearbox, plenty of power. You can feel those 500 horses and you can certainly hear them as well.
Transmission is nice and short throws and notchy.
Yeah. Amazing feeling car. Brakes are fantastic. I'm sure no fade as well because carbon ceramics. It does warm up when you've had the windows closed for 20 seconds. Front end grip is beautiful. And it's very linear, it's very responsive, it's instant response. Oh, this is one of the most beautiful driving experiences I think I've ever had. Oh, okay, picture this. Imagine Kendall Jenner eating chocolate strawberries off you at 1 o'clock in the morning in her bra. That's what this car feels like right now. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a moment here.
Yeah. Oh, and she's just gotten naked. She's just taken all her clothes off. That's what's just happened. Oh, what a beauty. Oh, I think I'm in love. Andrew. Andrew, what have you done? I'm gonna sell my kidneys, sell my legs. What else can I sell? It's very quick, but it's not like when I drove a Pagani or the Aventador or anything like that, where it's like too quick almost. You're holding on for dear life, like, oh my god, you know, this thing's about to take off. This is manageable. This is, you feel like, okay, it's very fast. You can take anything on, but I have it within, you know, control on public roads, which is fantastic. And these seats really hold you in nicely. And the feel of the car, when you grab the gearbox, you can feel the vibrations, you can feel what's going on with the engine. And to the steering, you can feel exactly what the road's telling you.
Go a little more.
Not that intimidating. Okay, so I'm gonna try revving it out because it revs so high that your mind's telling you to change gear sooner than you really should. So let's. Oh my god! Oh my god! I have just got to heaven and back. I have just gone to heaven. That is something else. Yeah, past 7,000. just like a whole new ball game.
It comes alive.
Yeah.
It definitely comes alive.
Oh, I'm genuinely borderline speechless. I'm like, what else can I say about this? Because in my mind I'm thinking, enjoy it, Seb, enjoy it. But then I'm also thinking, you need to translate what this experience is like. But it's just fantastic. This is just, I haven't seen a bad review on this car, by the way. I'm not going to be the one to do one because there's nothing bad to say.
The only bad reviews are the people that can't get their hands on one. Exactly.
Well, I can't, so but I'm still going to give it a good review. No, but this is fantastic.
I heard there's a lot of issues with some of the press getting their hands on them because there's such a limited production. They don't have a lot of them.
And then most people, I mean, Andrew, you guys know, is one of the few collectors who actually drives his cars, lets whoever you want to drive the cars, which is amazing.
I gotta respect them. I have to respect them, I gotta like them, so...
Yeah. I mean, these cars are made to be used. They weren't built to stay in garages. They were meant to be used. It's not like you're buying a concept car with no engine in it. You're actually buying a car with a working engine and working gearbox. So take it out on the road. And the beautiful thing about these cars and why we all love cars is because they bring us together. So if you're not going to share it, why'd you have these? Anyways, this is me now going on a rant about it.
No, but you're
But this is
right.
why I really respect what you do with your cars, because you use them, you share them, and you appreciate them. And that's something that not that many people do necessarily. This is, if you drive this car and you don't take it over 7,000, it's like going to a music festival and putting earplugs in. it's like what are you doing with your life? You've gotten everything wrong. With Porsches, you always need to rev it out. The torque isn't, it's not one of these engines where at 1,000 you can sort of push straight away. You need to properly rev the engine.
Yeah, we get into the Black Series, the SLS Black, or you get
exactly. Well, anything twin turbo really, that sort of adds that whole aspect. I mean, by the way, Andrew gets into this car at the Fairmont, switches traction off. I was like, you baller. You're like, that is so sick. I now do the same in the Lotus actually. Once you get to know a car well enough, just drive. It feels like someone's holding something back from you if the traction's on. Yeah, I know. Tell the story of my life right there. Whoa, that's nice when the gear shift is right when the engine opens up. Oh, it's like an angry lion. You Porsche. We went very slowly.
I can tell.
Okay, ladies and gents, I'm back in the back. See what I did there? Yeah, speechless. Overall, an amazing experience. We're now driving back down into town, and this has been a surreal day. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we'll be doing more stuff together very soon. I hope you enjoy your time down here too. I'm sure all the subscribers are hoping you enjoy this car, as I'm sure you will. And yeah, that's pretty much the video for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye. See ya. The absolute standard, like the numbers, the options, and all of that you get completely standard with the car.
911R, they made 991.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing. Yeah. It is 500 horsepower engine, same as in the RS. It's basically the same car in the RS as the RS.
Yeah.
Magnesium roof. You have the RS engine. You have everything except for a couple of major things. One is the 6-speed transmission, which is really cool.
That's the major thing.
The major thing. Yeah. And you have skinnier tires, so you have less of a contact patch, which means it's a lot more fun to play with.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that. So that's the type of thing that